We have some massive news coming out from a Navy Cross recipient, again, calling out some of the top military leadership over in Southern California, over in lovely San Diego, as it looks like some more BS policies are being put in place. Now, we are no stranger to Luis Fonseca, but it seems like he's still continuing to advocate for these sailors in this region that are continuing to have issues. Now, to remind you guys where he first did this was initially known from a video that I had done only several months ago, where the same command was talking about limiting service members being able to attend medical appointments at specific times. And so essentially, it looks like they're going on this manning issue again, as it looks like they're finding some critical holes here to fulfill manning, and that's all they're caring about. The first is a page 13 here, which says you are being advised that if your medical appointment is interfering with the performance of your assigned duties, your chain of command will not be inclined to excuse your absence from the workplace to attend future appointments unless it is for an emergency or the appointment is scheduled before 0800 in the morning or after 15:30, 3:30 for civilians on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays only, unless the necessity of the appointment outside these times and days is supported in writing from the provider making the appointment. And this was from Naval Medical Center San Diego, again, the same place that released this document we're going to be talking about here soon. Now, that was the first memorandum that you saw over there that was actually tossed out eventually, as people finally made an uproar about everything going wrong within this small facility here. But now we're seeing this other memorandum coming out, and you'll be kind of surprised about this. So it says Director for Branch Clinics. This is Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command. This is over in San Diego, California, and this was signed only 3 days ago. And it says memorandum, and it says from the Director for Branch Clinics, and it says to all active duty personnel within the Directorate for Branch Clinics. And the subject is guidance for terminal/separation leave and skill bridge. Now, they reference some instruction here, which is a local one at the Naval Medical Center San Diego, and a DoD instruction as well. It says, this memorandum is a formal notification of terminal/separation leave and skill bridge guidelines for all active duty personnel. Terminal leave will be granted at the rate of 3 days for every 1 year served on active duty. 3 days. Now, when we all joined and we went into the military, they said, listen here, Jimmy, you're getting 30 days a year. You're going to be able to use them. You'll have time off to go home, see your mom, all that. Now, granted, if you did 4 years, boot camp, 2-ish months, right? A school, average, couple months. That's 6 months you're not taking leave out of your 4-year contract. You go to your first ship. You got to get qualified. You might go on deployment. You might have other issues. In a 4-year period, that time eats away very quickly. 30 days a year, here, there, bam. You're saving up. And a lot of times, there are people, especially deployed in forward deployed naval forces, such as Rota, Spain, Yokosuka, Japan, things like that, where they are so operationally heavy, they don't get the same opportunity to take leave and are forced to take it pretty much at specific times because of mission requirements. And I also wanted to, echo some good points that Luis made in his own video about this, where they were talking about that in order to actually get rid of leave days and you're leaving and you're not able to take them because of operational requirements, you would then be forced to sell them only at your base pay rate. Now, when you're E3 nothing, you're probably not going to make much money off of selling these leave days. And it might be more financially responsible to use these leave days, go work somewhere else, get another paycheck rolling through to kind of cushion that exit from the military, whereas somebody retiring probably won't be as affected. It goes on to say, effective immediately, all requested time away from primary duties will be constrained to, and the first one here says 45 days of leave or skill bridge for non-critical Navy enlisted classifications or NECs based on the current future staffing status of the respective area of expertise. Then the next one says 30 days of leave or skill bridge for all personnel that hold a critical NEC or officer specialty based on the current/future staffing status of the directorate. I will continue to yell from the tops of whatever building I need to that for some reason in the military, in this community specifically, it almost seems like being valuable, having more qualifications, having more, enlisted classification codes or whatever else is going to hurt you in the long run, which still baffles me because it should be incentivizing people to actually fulfill these very in-demand areas. But you're saying the people that did less and got less training are now going to get more days off? That makes no sense. I'm seeing here, from what I would like to see from a very basic perspective, an equal opportunity issue. Now, I'm not going to say an expert on that, but somebody should look at this and say, this probably is not legal. From my understanding, and I've read the equal opportunity instruction on a several yearly basis issue, as it seems I come across it the more I go through the ranks. It continues to say, due to current and future staffing projections, all personnel may elect to request either skill bridge or terminal leave up to a maximum of 45 days. So you don't get one or the other. There's no options. You just have to use 45 days for your benefit, which is Skill Bridge, which a lot of you guys may or may not know is a program which was created by the Department of Defense to allow a bridge of skills where you could go work at Google or Amazon or whatever to be able to actually get some on-the-job training, maybe do some journeyman level type apprenticeship stuff, and maybe get your foot in the door. And it was a way of taking care of service members. Now, when this first came out, we saw a lot of people that had success with it. And I think there was a lot of pressure from the top to say, let's see how good this is. But as years have gone on and I have seen this, I actually have heard my anecdotal evidence from many people that are out here just getting denied this. And it seems like now it's just this program that top brass gets to say, but we have the Skill Bridge program, but it doesn't matter if nobody gets to use it because your manning is so low and nobody can seem to figure that out. And this is where the military, I think, gets in a great, round the carousel, ring around the rosy as shell benefits that are there, but no one actually gets the chance to use them because there's so many tight constraints or local policies as mission requirements, which make it so bland and don't allow a lot of people to use them. Now, and this did allow people up to 6 months to be able to go do this, which I thought was a great idea. Finally, there are some companies out there wanting to utilize veterans and service members to be able to come into the workforce in some critically manned areas for the betterment of the country as a whole. And it says exceptions to this memo will be considered on a case-by-case basis, provided that a special request is routed through the district chain of command, routed to the director. It says, for any questions, please contact this Master Chief Corpsman, and then is signed off by K.M. Lepore. I think that what we're doing is setting up a horrendous precedent of why people are getting out. And these are things that you're going to see as why people are getting out. It's like, well, I was hoping to use Skill Bridge maybe at some point, and it seems like the military doesn't care about me, so why am I going to stay any longer if I'm noticing all my peers are not allowed to do any of the benefits they want to do, on top of tuition assistance, on top of Skill Bridge, on top of using leave that they've actually earned, which for some reason isn't seeming like leave, it seems like a trap. The only thing I can come to think about this was this is probably due to a lot of issues that you've probably read online about the new Defense Health Agency that's come out that has been ripping through a lot of the military medicine and providing a lot of manning gaps and issues that has now provided tons of constraint to commands to try and make mission, while there seems to be a gentle handover to Defense Health Agency. And really what we're seeing is this. The person that's suffering from all of this is going to be the junior service members, and people that actually gave more to the military are now getting less time off. So this is where I want to bring you guys into this. What do you think about policies like this? Because I personally did have a commanding officer that said you had 2 days off for every year served. And that was his policy, and there was nothing in writing. It was just what it was. And I would say the ability to transition is already as difficult as it will ever be, as it was coming in the military to get out of the military and kind of that adjustment process. So I'd love to know, what bogus, arbitrary things have you seen that are like this? And do you think that this is even the great direction we should be going into? Because there are manning gaps. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know what you guys think. Hit me up over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below if you guys like videos like this or you have other topics you want me to cover. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.